Hello. Good morning and welcome to family, friends, guests, alumni, faculty, the Board of Governors, the Board of Trustees, Mr. Seibert, Mr. Shaw, but most especially my peers, boys class of 2016. I consider everyone who goes through Cranbrook as family. Well, kind of. I mean, my classmates and I, yeah, I'd consider us brothers, but I would definitely refrain from calling Mrs. Seibert and Mr. Shaw mommy and daddy. And for them to have hundreds and hundreds of children, all right. 59,976,000. That is the approximate number of seconds I've been in school in Cranbrook's classrooms. It's also just a fancy way of saying I've been here since kindergarten. But overall, in my 14 years here, I can genuinely, truly say that I have learned. Yes, breaking news. Over the course of a decade and a half of being in school, I have learned. But the community at Cranbrook has taught me more than just how to say good morning in Spanish, or how the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, or how Romeo and Juliet probably could have avoided death. And for those who haven't read Romeo and Juliet, sorry, that was kind of a spoiler alert. The community at Cranbrook has taught me so many valuable lessons. And one of those lessons comes through a very specific experience, and that experience is the powwow. So during preseason, the Cranbrook varsity soccer team travels up north, where we bond, run, swim, play soccer, and just attain unimaginable amounts of soreness. But on the last day, we have our powwow. And please, take that description lightly, because its real definition is a Native American ceremony involving singing, feasting, and dancing. In reality, the soccer team circles up to talk around a small fire while being attacked by hundreds of mosquitoes. No actual singing, feasting, or dancing, but really it's close enough. But I absolutely love our powwow because it's a time of self-reflection. And during our powwow, each of us get a turn to speak and say these 4 things: what we're grateful for, our low of the trip, our high of the trip, and our goal for the future. So I'll use that exact format to cover my 14 years here in this very speech. And although the soccer team's powwows feature everyone getting a turn, I'll have to go against tradition since there's well over 500 of you guys here and we don't have 8 hours to get through everyone. However, I encourage you all to think sometime and really reflect on these 4 things as well. First, what I'm grateful for. Well, besides pizza, the bookstore's cookies, free periods, and snow days, I'm grateful for a few more important things. First, I'm grateful to the entire boys class for electing me to give this speech. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to make a joke about Mrs. Seibert and Mr. Shaw having thousands of babies. No, but actually, thanks not only to you guys, but to everyone who's been a part of the community at Cranbrook, because each one of you contribute to making this the best and most amazing community for a student to be a part of. I'm also thankful for my parents, who have given me the opportunity to be at Cranbrook for the past 14 years. I believe that we should all appreciate how our loved ones and parents have sacrificed so much time, effort, and money in order to assure that we received a life-changing education from Cranbrook. Second, my all-time low. A low usually causes a turning point and teaches you a valuable lesson. You learn something that you'll remember for the rest of your life. It happened when I was in 9th grade at Cranbrook. A sudden, unannounced school meeting was held, and we were all told that Caleb Lee, a 10th grader at CK, had passed away. I had never spoken a word to Caleb, but it was definitely the lowest point in my time at Cranbrook. I couldn't fathom what pain his closest friends and family were going through. I thought, what if I only had 1 more year left to live? Caleb didn't even know it was coming, and none of us did. From that, I learned life is so precious, yet so precarious. I learned to tune in and appreciate all the wonderful things that constantly go on in my daily life. Has everyone seen one of these before? Of course you have. It's an iPhone. Oops. Let this iPhone represent one of us. Everywhere around us right now, there are radio waves traveling through the air. And even though we can't see them, and my phone is currently off, at any moment I could tune in, pick up those radio waves, and listen to my favorite music. What I'm trying to say is that we need to tune in. There's all these wonderful things constantly going on around us, like the sound waves and music, the messages around this iPhone. And all of those things are so easy to miss. We literally need to tune in and acknowledge all the wonderful things that constantly surround us. Remember that could all be gone at any moment. All right, third, my all-time high at Cranbrook. Wow, to choose my single favorite moment over the course of 14 years. I'm not gonna get super zen and say it was the time I saw a duck take care of a duckling, and that represents the support our loving teachers give us yearning students or something like that. Wow, favorite moment ever. I had to really think about this one, and then it hit me. I asked this question to a marathon runner. What's the best part of the race? Mile 1? No. Mile 22? No. It's crossing the finish line. And yes, although my time at Cranbrook has been completely full of pain, suffering, and struggle like a marathon, well, maybe a little, but it was an endurance test that forced me to learn and really understand how to enjoy the ride. We are all departing this high school as accomplished men who not only survived, but thrived in all of our classes. Well, maybe except in physics, but in all the other classes we did well. But then there was also bio. Never mind that. Being at this podium and getting to celebrate our success with 100 of the best guys I've ever known, it's such a great feeling and great honor. I'm hopeful that you guys are also proud of yourselves for putting in years of work to be successful and finally graduate high school. Overall, there's no doubt that this is my best moment of my time at Cranbrook. Fourth, and last but not least, my goal for the future. This one is simple, really, and maybe the most important. For this one, I'm gonna give credit and quote my man, my hero, and founder of your favorite company named after a fruit. His name is Steve Jobs. He says, people say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason it's true is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're going to give up. Thanks, Steve. In addition to this, I want us to all understand that we are creating the life of our dreams. Question your self-imposed limits and set out to achieve great things. To do this, you must find your passion, follow that passion, be persistent, never give up, and be great. Be so great and understand we only get one shot at this game called life, so let's make it count. All right, in case any of you have been asleep for the past 9 minutes, I want to say 2 things. First, I hope you had a nice nap. Second, you're in luck, because here's the summary of my powwow. I'm so grateful for Cranbrook being the best, and for my parents for supporting me. Earlier, I took out my iPhone to explain that the most important lesson I learned in my 14 years here was to tune in and appreciate all the wonderful things that go on in my daily life. Rest in peace, Caleb Lee. My all-time high is finishing this marathon and graduating right now. And for the future, I encourage all of us to find what we love, be great, be persistent, aim high, and most of all, never give up. Thank you.